So that is not that uncommon, I think, in the mating market anyway. So often the signals that are given out to rivals, and men do a similar thing. So men attempting to be bullish and aggressive towards other men. Women, as we said before, have some tolerance for men who are aggressive, but they don't want men to be excessively aggressive because that invariably presents a danger to them and their children as well. So frequently, men may be able to be really bullish and aggressive and be really successful at competing out all the other men, but then they turn off a lot of women doing that, or at least may have some making up to do with the women having seen them behave like that. So that happens a lot anyway, just in the normal social signaling, sexual signal. Often the signals you want to give out to your sexual rivals are not really compatible with those that you want to give out to the opposite sex. And so both sexes have to navigate, how strongly do I want to compete with my rivals at the risk of actually turning off the mates I'm trying to attract in the first place. And so, yeah, what you're suggesting is certainly something that could happen, but because this kind of signaling game is happening all the time, everybody as a potential partner and a potential receiver of these signals also understands that there is a lot of ambiguity, a lot of ambivalence, and even potential outright dishonesty amongst all of these signals. So everybody is also at least somewhat prepared to forgive some sort of excessive signaling behavior in a prospective partner, because both sexes, women understand that that guy might have just been being especially aggressive in that situation. That is not necessarily how she's going to treat him. And men may understand that, yeah, okay, she has this past, or she has this history, or said she did, or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's who she is now, or that all those rumors are true. So it's, both sexes have to have a certain level of, ability to be flexible with this kind of signaling. And then, of course, without even touching on it, there's a whole world of relational aggression going on out there where people are spreading deliberately false rumors. And so, if you're in an environment where a lot of information that's flying around is potentially untrue, then you have to be able to have some ability to recognize that and not to just completely condemn every prospective mate as soon as somebody tells you something bad about them, or as soon as you hear something bad about them, because that would obviously just make you very, very easy for your rivals to just put you out of the making market entirely. They just have to tell you something bad about every person you're potentially interested in, and you're done. So people have to be resilient to that. So that, that's, and of course, the follow on then of people being resilient to that is that again opens the door for highly exploitative people to exploit people's willingness to not believe everything they hear, and so on and so forth. So it becomes a very complicated signaling game, and nothing is taken for granted, and nothing is really taken as 100% reliable and fixed until you really get to know a person.